Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, January 1st, 2016. Join us for the next 45 minutes as we deliver today's top stories around the globe. I am William Thio.
We are here to give you carefully gathered stories, assuring you of accurate, truthful, and balanced newscasts. I'm Gerry Alcantara.
We are also seen in 1,360 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through www.untvweb.com. This is
Y News.
Here are the headlines. UNTV News and Rescue Team extends assistance to accident victims, including firecracker casualties on the eve of 2016. One dead, more than 500 families left homeless in a fire incident in Tondo, Manila. Piccolo, #1 cause of firecracker-related injuries.
Health Secretary Janet Garin hopes for the total ban of firecrackers in 2017. And colorful and grandiose fireworks displays were seen from around the world.
First in the news, the firecracker piccolo remains the top cause of firecracker-related injuries before and during the New Year revelry, according to data from Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center in Manila. Bianca Dava, tell us why.
The number of victims of firecracker blasts before and during the New Year revelry brought to the Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center in Manila continues to rise. Firecracker victim Gerry was rushed to the JRMMC early morning on January 1st. He was immediately transferred by his companions to a stretcher. Flores had lost his left leg. According to his son, the victim accidentally stepped on a Goodbye Philippines firecracker while walking around Tondo, Manila.
Naglakad siya, tapos sinapakan niya, akala niya hindi puputok. Biglang pumutok sa kanya yung laplang malaki.
Flores then underwent X-ray and was taken to the operating room for the amputation or removal of his right leg.
One, kasi hindi na viable yung paa. Tapos, kailangan natin kasing tanggalin yung part na hindi na viable kasi magiging source of infection siya later on.
Flores is only one of the 83 firecracker victims who were brought to the JRMMC from December 21 until January 1, 1:30 p.m. This figure is lower compared to the number of firecracker-related incidents recorded during the same period in 2014 and 2015 at exactly 100 each. However, the JRMMC said it is still possible for the number to rise in the coming days. Hospital administrators expressed concern over the surge in victims of the long-prohibited piccolo, which has now injured 39 people. This despite the health department's appeal to the public to dispose or surrender piccolo to authorities. The biggest culprit for firecracker injuries was followed by the Quitis with 9 casualties, Lucy's with 7, Plapla with 5, Triangulo with 3, and Goodbye Philippines, Super Lolo, and Dragon Firecracker with 2 each. Of the 83 victims, 49 are children ages 18 below. Jo Viernes could not believe what happened to her son, 11-year-old JV, whose right hand was lacerated by a Plapla firecracker that exploded when he picked it up outside their home in Norzagaray, Bulacan.
Bali, 3 yata o 2. Puputulin daw po.
Meanwhile, no firecracker ingestion was reported while 4 stray bullet victims were admitted to the JRMMC.
All of our patients are stable naman, and then ongoing yung treatment ng 2 gunshot wound na patient. Currently, we will be having 2 admissions.
Bianca Dava reporting for Y News.
10 individuals who were about to watch a fireworks display became victims of a firecracker-related accident in Barangay Quirino 2C in Quezon City. Ann Nunez tells us why.
10 individuals were simultaneously rushed to Quirino Memorial Medical Center at past 1 after a firecracker supposedly to be used in a fireworks display accidentally exploded. The victims, most of them are of kin, were from Barangay Quirino 2C and were about to watch the fireworks display. In the statement of Barangay Kagawad Elvisa Nacion, they were about to light a firecracker allegedly provided by the Barangay Town Hall to be part of the fireworks display in their respective places. As they were to light the firecracker in an open area near their place, it suddenly exploded.
Yung unang sindi, umano naman okay, 1, tapos 2. Yung pangatlo talagang hindi ordinaryong sabog eh. Yung dalawang bahay, pumutok yung mga salamin sa bintana. Oo, tapos yung computer, nag-block out talaga yung computer. Tapos yung CCTV, kasi may CCTV kami doon sa area na yun, naapektuhan din.
The victims suffered from multiple injuries. Some of them are currently confined at the hospital, while others had went home to their respective houses. Most of the victims were aged 40 to 60. Among them are 2 minors who are about 15 and 5 years old. Earlier, personnel of the Philippine National Police had arrived at the QMMC to learn about the details relative to the incident. The case will be forwarded to the Quezon City Police Station 9, who will conduct the investigation. As of 6 a.m. today, QMMC has recorded 22 firecracker-related injuries alone. The management of the hospital is confident that the firecracker campaign of the government helped a lot to lessen firecracker-related injuries yearly.
Ang pinaka-importante dyan is the awareness ng tao siguro. And syempre sa mga bata din, siguro naging maganda na yung awareness nila regarding yung mga injuries na pwedeng makuha nila with firecrackers. Tapos yung information dissemination din natin.
Ann Nunez reporting for Y News.
There were more victims of vehicular accidents than firecracker-related incidents at the Philippine Orthopedic Center. Would you tell us why, Bianca Dava?
The number of patients from vehicular accidents outnumbered victims of firecracker blasts at the Philippine Orthopedic Center in Quezon City amid the New Year festivities. Most of these incidents were due to intoxication.
VA is constantly there, no? So talagang yun talaga ang isa sa mga matataas sa census namin. Mostly is under alcohol. Most of them are under the influence of the alcohol, nakakabangga ng ibang tao, or sometimes self-accident.
There were at least 10 victims of motorcycle accidents due to intoxication, according to Dr. Rodriguez. Meanwhile, the Philippine Orthopedic Center, or POC, fears that more victims of firecracker blasts will be recorded next week, especially coming from the provinces. This is because, based on POC's experience, there are still those who suffer burns from picking up supposedly unexploded firecrackers left during the New Year celebration.
May mga iba dyan, pupulot pa ng mga firecrackers, no, along the road, ganyan. Marami pa darating pa yan on the following days to come.
Moreover, based on the most recent report, the POC has listed 8 victims of firecrackers. Most of the injuries are due to the prohibited piccolo. The worst case involves a 15-year-old boy who had to undergo amputation. According to his attending physician, the victim used a homemade firecracker which was made up of various explosives. When he lit the firecracker, it did not explode. When he checked and held it, it suddenly exploded in his hand.
It's a homemade firecracker. It actually exploded while the patient grabbed the firecracker nung hindi sumabog.
In 2014, 17 victims of firecracker blasts were recorded at the POC. Bianca Dava, reporting for Y News.
The number of firecracker-related injuries has dropped by more than 100% in Bulacan. Marge Navarro will tell us why.
The Bulacan Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council has recorded at least 45 firecracker victims. The number of cases dropped to more than 100% compared with the 127 recorded cases in 2015. Most of the victims were from the town of San Miguel and Hagonoy, with 10 recorded victims each. 15 of the victims were aged 11 to 15, while 13 of the injured are between the ages 8 to 10. Elmer Fabian Barreto, 52 years old, suffered the worst damage. 4 of his fingers were blasted off due to the intensity of the explosion from the firecracker known as dynamite. According to the victim, he failed to throw the firecracker as soon as he lighted it, causing it to explode in his hand. Elmer said the dynamite firecracker was just given to him and he did not buy any for himself. In deep remorse, he promises never to use firecrackers anymore.
Nag-iinuman kayo, tapos magpapaputokan ng... Ano paputokan ng?
Pangalan mo? Nasigo ba kayo? Magpapaputokan pa ba niya? Hindi na. Ako nga naninilang ako naman. Hindi na ako ano.
Alis lang ako.
Ayaw ko naman patutok. Ako pala tatambugan.
The primary cause of injuries on victims brought to the BMC were illegal firecrackers known as piccolo, bawang, and rockets. Marge Navarro reporting for Y News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Health is hopeful that a bill seeking for a total ban of all types of firecrackers will be enacted by the year 2017. Nel Maribuhok, tell us why. Meanwhile, one resident was confirmed dead while nearly 500 families lost their homes in a fire incident in Tondo, Manila early this morning. Nel Maribuhok, tell us why.
Residents of Barangay 155 and 160 in Tondo, Manila were caught off guard by a fire incident that razed their homes past 3 in the morning today. The fire reached general alarm before it was declared fire out by 10 a.m.
May kumatok ho sa amin, natutulog kami. Sabi, labas na kayo, malaki na yung apoy. Eh pagbukas ho namin ng pintuan, umano yung apoy. Eh, kaya nataranta kami, wala na kami may salbang damit.
A resident identified as Danilo Francisco, 40 years old, was confirmed dead. He was trapped inside the comfort room of a burning house. His charred remains were discovered at about 11 in the morning as firemen were conducting clearing operations.
May karamdaman po siya talaga. Sa gusto niyang tumulong sa mga kamag-anak, talagang hindi niya po nakayanan, hindi na siya nakalabas.
Considered na charred beyond recognition, burned beyond recognition. Gusto ko rin malaman kung ano talaga yung height ng victim, ng fire victim, para ma-establish natin kung paano kasi sa dating niya, lumiit na siya.
Another resident identified as Mario Mandak, 34, was also injured. He broke his rib after he fell from the roof of a house while trying to help put out the fire. Nearly 500 families lost their homes due to the fire incident.
Ang pinagtatakahan nga natin kung bakit lumaki ng ganito kalaki tong sunog. Therefore, hindi siya naagapan, hindi siya naalagaan.
Residents said this is the first time that a fire this big happened in this place because whenever there is fire, they usually succeed in putting it out with everybody's help. But since the fire happened at dawn, when most of the residents were already tired and sleeping, they were not able to stop it from spreading to other homes. Even the village hall of Barangay 155 was not spared, and all their documents and equipment such as CCTV and public address system were also reduced to ashes.
In-expect ko po kasi hindi aabutin. Inaabot. Kaya hindi ako nakapaganda. Tsaka, nung nasusunog to, halos lahat ng gamit ng mga ibang barangay, ng bahay dito, diyan nilagay. Kasi expected talaga hindi aabutin. Kaya ayun, pati sila na dali, pati yung mga gamit nila.
There is no evacuation center in the barangay, so residents are left on their own to look for temporary shelter. Manila's Social Welfare Department will ration food to the fire victims for 3 days. As of now, the residents need food, clothes, and shelter. Most of them were not able to salvage anything, so they are appealing for help from the government.
Kailangan lang yung mga kahoy, yero, para naman maitayo uli yung bahay namin. Kasi wala ho talaga kami mapupuntahan. Lang kamag-anak.
Kung maaari lang po, kahit pagkain o yung mga kahit maano lang po na kahit barong-barong, magawaan po ng mga ng bahay namin, may matulugan. Ganun po ang pinakamahalaga po sa amin.
It's still uncertain what started the fire. Some are saying it is firecracker related while some blame it on defective electrical wiring. Investigators are still determining the total amount of properties affected by the fire. Nel Maribuhok reporting for Y News.
In other news, the Department of Health or DOH is hopeful that a bill seeking for a total ban on all types of firecrackers will be enacted by the year 2017. Nel Maribuhok is back to tell us why.
The Department of Health is one of the advocates for the drafting of a law on a total ban of firecrackers every end of the year. This is due to the high number of firecracker victims during holiday season. The incidents commonly cause severe injuries and sometimes death of innocent people because of irresponsible use of firecrackers. Thus, DOH Secretary Janet Garin is hopeful for the passage of a proposed bill that will ban all kinds of firecrackers in 2017.
We already did at patuloy nga namin itong sinusulong, subalit hindi pa rin po napapasa hanggang ngayon. Sana pagdating ng 2017, banned na talaga ang firecrackers. Wala namang pong mawawala ng hanap buhay kasi patuloy pa rin naman ang public fireworks display. Ang importante, walang buhay ang nasasawi.
Meanwhile, according to Presidential Communication Operations Office Secretary Arminio Coloma Jr., it is up for the Congress to pass the bill on this matter. The executive's part is to implement the new law. Secretary Coloma also added that the government is doing all efforts to encourage the Filipino people to observe safe festivities during year-end. It was in 1992 when Republic Act No. 7183 was passed into law. It is mandated to regulate the sale, manufacture, distribution, and the use of firecrackers and other pyrotechnic devices. As to date, bills proposing for stricter penalties and limitations on the use of firecrackers are still pending in Congress. Nel Maribuhok reporting for Y News.
The UNTV News and Rescue team remained on alert the whole night to assist victims of accidents and firecrackers during the festivities last night. Ann Nunez, tell us why.
We are now ready to deploy our rescue groups at laging sinasabi ni Kuya, tulong muna bago balita!
Hours before 2015 ended last night, members of the UNTV News and Rescue teams were simultaneously deployed to various parts of the country. They aim to extend assistance to possible victims of firecracker and other accidents. The team can be reached through a centralized hotline.
Ang atin ho ngayon ay habang nagkakaroon ng merrymaking sa buong mundo, ay tayo naman ho ay nag-deploy na kanina. No? Gusto ko lamang balikan kanina yung deployment natin na ginawa natin dyan sa, ito yung part na yan, no? Dyan sa atin hong motor pool kasama si Gerry Pangulan, si Bong Etorma at saka si King Santos na sila ho ay magbibigay ng ayuda sa inyo. Ano man pong klase ng emergency ang mayroon kayo, pwede nyo hong tawagan ang ating hotline. Yan po ay simple lang, 911 UNTV. Yun lang po ang inyong tatandaan. 911 UNTV. That means 8688 ho yung dulo nun. 911-8688.
Before the deployment, Kuya Daniel joined the team in a brutal fight. Then, they positioned in strategic places to be able to immediately respond in case of emergencies.
Yan ay isang centralized number na magbibigay po naman ng deployment sa ating mga kasama sa Tarlac, Zambales, Nueva Ecija, Cavite, sa iba't ibang area ng Cebu City, ng Bacolod City, ng Davao City na idineploy ho natin kanina, ang Iloilo City nandyan, ang Baguio, ang Laguna, ang Masbate, ang Pampanga, nandyan po ang ating mga kasama dito sa National Capital Region. Of course, nandyan din ang Zambales, yung Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, Cavite. Itong National Capital Region naman ho, buo ito, ginagalawan ng ating mga regular na mga rescuers. So far, ay nakadeploy na po sila ngayon at ready para ho tumugon sa anumang mga emergencies na inyo pong itatawag sa amin.
Reporters also went to hospitals to monitor the arrival of firecracker victims. Aside from these, the group also assisted those who were involved in accidents. The group responded to more than 20 incidents overnight. Until the break of dawn, the group kept on doing their duties. In the past 5 years, UNTV News and Rescue have trained more than 800 personnel. In 2015, the group responded to almost 300 rescue incidents. This year, Kuya Daniel will lead the enhancement of skills training, especially in water rescue. The Project Emergency Race is also a much-awaited event wherein different rescue teams around the country will participate in order to enhance coordination and capacity to help others.
Kasi nakita ko, mula midnight daw narinig ko hanggang ngayon, nagtatrabaho kayo.
Yes.
So ibig sabihin, the whole year magiging good kayo. Work,
Well, with God's help, ang amin ho kasing prinsipyo, while we are being given the opportunity, we have to take every opportunity na binibigay sa amin. Kaya hindi kami sumama sa merrymaking eh. Ang ginawa pa rin ho namin ay public service pa rin.
Ann Nunez reporting for Y News.
The entire force of the UNTV News and Rescue team was deployed to respond to emergency situations during last night's festivities. Marge Navarro will tell us why.
Led by Mr. Public Service Kuya Daniel Razon, UNTV intensified its advocacy Tulong Muna Bago Balita last night through a nationwide rescue effort.
Part of the program was the ceremonial simultaneous deployment of all rescue units in the country. UNTV is the only station that ensures all reporters, cameramen, technical staff, and even drivers are all certified rescuers. Likewise, the hashtag UNTV Repaso 2015 was also launched, which climbed at number 2 spot at the Philippine Trends. Beginning 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. this morning, it garnered 39,000 tweets, a strong evidence of a widespread viewer support. From 8 p.m. to 12 midnight, Repaso 2015 was hosted by attorney Reggie Tongol and William Thio. At the time clocked 12 midnight, Kuya Daniel entered the Rescue Command Center and joined in the monitoring of events as well as the ongoing rescue efforts. In his message, Kuya Daniel stressed that he wants to continue what UNTV has started, and that is to further improve and expand the coverage of public service.
Kung ano yung naumpisahan natin ay maipagpatuloy natin at mas mai-improve pa natin, mas mapalawak pa natin. Pero hopefully, itong 2016 na ito ay magpapasimula ang ating UNTV News International.
Marge Navarro reporting for Y News.
Y News will be right back.
Nagagamit nyo ho rin yung outdated na libro?
Oo, magagamit yun. Hindi lahat. Hindi lahat.
Naipaliwanag nyo na po yun sa COA.
Ay, hindi nakikinig.
Hindi naman kaya bukas makalawa, ikaw naman may kaso niyan sa ombudsman.
Paglalaban natin yan.
President Benigno Aquino III believes that the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB, will support the country's infrastructure development. Nel Maribohok tells us why.
It was in December 29, 2015 when President Benigno Aquino III approved the signing of the Articles of Agreement with the China-led Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB. The AIIB is an institution which supports funding needs, specifically infrastructure projects of countries in the Asia-Pacific region, apart from US-led World Bank and the Japan-led Asian Development Bank. The Philippines is one of the countries facing great challenges in terms of public infrastructure investments, a key factor in economic development. The government targets to triple the Philippine infrastructure investment to almost 800 billion pesos in 2016 from more than 200 billion pesos in 2012. According to Presidential Communication Operations Office Secretary Herminio Coloma Jr., promoting sustainable economic growth is one reason why the President decided to join the AIIB. He believes that the funds will help major infrastructure projects in order for the country to construct additional facilities such as airport, seaport, and mass transport for the benefit of the ordinary citizen. In his statement, Department of Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima said such projects would widen the network of job and business growth opportunities aside from the expansion for infrastructure-related industries. As to date, there is no information yet from the Finance Department whether they will need to request a supplemental budget for the initial installment for the $196 million paid-in capital requirement in joining the AIIB. Nel Maribuhok, reporting for Y News.
The traffic situation on EDSA is expected to be light to moderate. To give us an update, Nel Maribuhok is at EDSA PhilAm Live. Good evening, Nel. Yes, Nel, good evening.
William, as of this moment, we don't have any big problems in the traffic situation here in EDSA. Let us see the traffic situation in this area. On the right side of the screen, EDSA southbound, you will encounter light traffic from Balintawak to Muñoz area all the way to Quezon Avenue intersection. Light to moderate traffic will be experienced from Nia Road to Kamuning area. Motorists going to EDSA northbound may also encounter light traffic from Ortigas Avenue to Cubao, light moderate to Nia Road all the way to Muñoz area. Also, vehicles bound to Quiapo area from Quezon Avenue, light to moderate traffic will be experienced from Delta intersection to España. Our motorists from Quiapo area bound to EDSA will be facing light to moderate traffic. And that is our traffic update here in EDSA, Quezon City. William.
Thank you very much, Nel Maribuhok, for that positive traffic report. Residents in several Luzon areas should expect a gloomy weekend ahead. Meanwhile, the rest of the country will enjoy good weather. Reporting from Quezon City, Bianca Dava will tell us why.
Good evening to you at the studio and to all our viewers. It has been a rainy first day of the year for Metro Manila in particular and for Luzon in general. And based on Pag-asa's latest forecast, the same weather conditions will be experienced in this island group this weekend due to the tail end of a cold front and the northeast monsoon or amihan. The provinces of Quirino, Aurora, Quezon, Rizal, and Camarines Norte will experience cloudy conditions accompanied by light to moderate rains and isolated thunderstorms on Saturday due to the tail end of a cold front. The Cagayan Valley and Cordillera will meanwhile be cloudy with light rains this time due to the amihan or northeast monsoon. Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will be partly cloudy to cloudy with isolated light rains, while the rest of the country will enjoy good weather with only scattered rain showers or thunderstorms. Moderate to strong winds blowing from the northeast will prevail over northern and central Luzon, where coastal waters will be moderate to rough. Elsewhere, winds will be light to moderate blowing from the northeast with slight to moderate seas. And that was our snapshot of the weather for the weekend ahead. Everyone is advised to be wary of the weather and keep watching out for updates. Reporting live for Y News, I am Bianca Dava.
Thank you very much, Bianca Dava, reporting live from Quezon City.
Sixteen people were injured when a luxury hotel in Dubai went ablaze. Marge Navarro tells us why.
A 63-story skyscraper was set ablaze last night in Dubai minutes before the start of a grand fireworks display. The raging fire engulfed the major portion of the high-rise address downtown Hotel Dubai at past 9 p.m. An eyewitness said they heard a series of blasts coming from the building.
Yeah, I mean, actually we were waiting for the fireworks at the Burj Khalifa, and then there was a lot of smoke coming up, and we saw the fire here in the hotel, and also 2 explosions, and it was scary. And we were wondering what's happening next, and all the people were kind of scared. It was a strange feeling.
According to Dubai police, hotel guests were immediately evacuated. However, 16 individuals suffered minor injuries. Reports said the fire broke out at the 20th floor of the hotel that immediately spread upward. The hotel was packed with revelers who were waiting for the fireworks extravaganza at the nearby iconic landmark Burj Khalifa on the eve of welcoming the year 2016. At 12 midnight, the fireworks display at Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, was carried on, with revelers remained high-spirited while cheering despite the ongoing fire. Marge Navarro reporting for Y News.
Filipinos flocked to witness the annual fireworks display and float parade at a beach in California. Would you tell us why, Precious Ong?
A colorful year-end activity was held at Long Beach, California, which spectators excitedly witnessed. They brazed the winter breeze, waiting for the grand fireworks and float parade. Colorful blinking lights surrounded the beach, lined with a variety of food stalls, enticing guests while they listened to a mini concert.
Masaya dahil hindi man katulad ng sa atin, ng pagdiriwang sa atin ng bagong taon. Pero pwede na rin kasi kanina may bago nagkaroon ng countdown, may tugtugan. Tapos nung countdown nga, tsaka napakaganda nung nila, fireworks nila. Every year nagpupunta kami rito.
Yearly, thousands of tourists arrive at the Long Beach to witness the countdown.
Kahit na malayo sa Pilipinas, pero ang kagandahan po dito, walang naputulan ng mga kamay, safe lahat ang putukan, at masayahan lahat.
Tighter security measures were also imposed to keep the public safe, following a series of terror threats. Together with the Long Beach, California news team, Precious Ong reporting for Y News.
The sky was lit with color in welcoming the year 2016. Precious Ong is back to tell us why.
In Australia, more than 2,000 fireworks were lit at the Sydney Harbour Bridge for the annual fireworks display. This year's theme is City of Color, to pay tribute to the city's rich beaches, flora, and fauna. Australia is one of the countries in the world that celebrate the coming of a new year. In Taiwan, colorful fireworks were on display at the tallest skyscraper in Taiwan, the Taipei 101 Tower. Thousands of spectators came to witness the spectacular fireworks display. According to the Taipei 101 Tower's management, they will temporarily switch off lights to compensate the carbon emission during the fireworks display. In Thailand, thousands of citizens gathered at the Chao Praya's Riverside Temple to witness a marvelous fireworks display in welcoming the year 2016. The fireworks display, which lasted for 15 minutes, was led by the Minister of Tourism and the Governor of the Tourism Authority of Thailand. In Russia, despite the very low temperature, hundreds came to watch the annual fireworks display at the Red Square in Moscow. Although the Red Square was closed to the public due to security threats, many residents and tourists stayed at the river embankments and side streets to watch. In Greece, the sky was filled with colorful lightworks at the Acropolis in celebration of the coming of 2016. Many resident priests came out of their homes despite the cold temperature. They say that they are hopeful of many developments in their country this year. In the United Kingdom, the London Eye served as a backdrop for a marvelous fireworks display in London. Despite the rain, thousands arrived at the River of Thames to witness the synchronized fireworks display. Around 12,000 fireworks were lit for the event. And in Paris, although the annual fireworks display in the city was cancelled, thousands flocked the Champs-Élysées to witness the light and sound show at the Arc de Triomphe. Thousands of police personnel implemented strict security at the crowded place, just like in all other European countries. Precious Ong reporting for Y News.
And those are the reasons behind the news January 1st, 2016. I'm William Thio.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Gerry Alcantara.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Thank you for watching
Y News.